Hello, BookTube. I have some mail again. I'm trying to control my optimism here. I know that's the real world. I know that things change all the time. I am noticing, though, a slight uptick in mail. Now, I don't know if that's just coincidence or if maybe slowly mail is inching back to something like what it once was. I don't think it ever will reach all the way back because the publishing industry is one of many industries, businesses, public institutions that are realizing, that have been forced to realize in 2020, that a different model of behavior is possible than what they were doing before, and that it might be an easier or especially a cheaper way to do things. The publishing industry, for its part, has learned, for instance, that electronic advanced copies of books are ever so much easier. They are ever so much easier, more environmental, more duplicatable. For Pete's sake, how many hidebound reviewers out there in my own profession have received an advanced copy of a book? It gets lost in a landslide of books in their office or in their home office, and they have to ask for another one. Another advanced copy gets sent out. How many times have I done that? And then the finished copy, and so on and so forth. Whereas with an e-copy, that's not a problem at all. So I have 3 packages here, and I think we had 3 yesterday, and it's been a steady trickle. I like that, but I don't expect that the days of 10 books in the mail every day are going to come back. I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, we've got 3 packages here. They're all in these cardboard boxes. So let's, or actually no boxes, just envelopes. But let's see what we have here. First one has a pull tab that I know isn't going to work. I can just take a look at it and see that it's not going to. So I will force it open with my fingers. What have we got here? Okay. All right. This is by Brian Dillon, and it is called Suppose a Sentence. A single sentence can change everything, and Brian Dillon knows it well. For 25 years, he has kept a running collection of what he sees as the most beautiful sentences culled from his lifetime of reading. The long and the short, the wise and the plainly descriptive, the strange and obscure. In Suppose a Sentence, he offers a lyrical, personal series of reflections on 27 striking lines from literature, drawing on sources from Shakespeare to Frank O'Hara, Virginia Woolf to James Baldwin, Hilary Mantel to Anne Carson. Suppose a Sentence is not a guide to the perfect sentence, and Dillon forgoes famous opening lines or witty aphorisms in favor of choices that are often surprising. Okay. Alright, so a kind of elaborate commonplace book then? Is that right? This is a New York Review of Books book, and the date on it is late September. I'm not 100% sure how reviewable such a thing is. I guess I'll find out, won't I? I'll find out. Not right away. I won't find out right away. That's late September is a little bit too far down the line for me to put this on my TBR for tonight, especially since, as you will know if you have watched my barrage of earlier videos today, I honestly don't know how people make one video a week. I don't know how they do it. There's so much bookish stuff to talk about. But if you'll know if you've seen those videos that I went to the Brattle Bookshop this morning, and I got a bunch of stuff that I don't need at all, but I also got a bunch of stuff that I actually want to read tonight, that I want to reread tonight. So, and one new book, a murder mystery that I've never heard of before. So these 3 packages are vying for a place on my TBR tonight, although everything's going to get done this week. So, I mean, except Suppose a Sentence I will wait, because there's no pressing need to do it until at the very least mid-September. Oh goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. What on earth? Oh. Okay. This is from University of Chicago Press. It doesn't have a pub sheet, but it clearly doesn't go to me. This is clearly got to make its way out to the provinces to David Murphy, if he doesn't have it already. This is by Margaret Chabas and Carl Wennerland, and it is A Philosopher's Economist, Hume and the Rise of Capitalism. I read and loved my David Hume, but this is clearly a David Murphy book, not a Steve Donoghue book. Let's see what we have here. Although David Hume's contribution to philosophy are well established, his work on economics has been largely overlooked. A philosopher's economist offers the definitive account of Hume's worldly philosophy and argues that economics was a central preoccupation of his life and work. The authors show that Hume made important contributions to the science of economics, notably on money, trade, and public finance. His astute understanding of human behavior provided an important foundation for his work on economics and proved essential to his analysis of the ethical and political dimensions of capitalism. Oh boy, I gotta get this in the mail to David right away. See what he can make of it. Even if he doesn't make anything of it at all, he's still gonna enjoy it more than I will. I'd be willing to bet. But there's a chance that I can corkscrew a review out of him, which would be nice. And then we'll do this last one, which seems to have an Amazon marking on it. But I already got my I ordered something from Amazon just the other day. I ordered, those of you who follow me on Instagram, I have an Instagram account. I post pictures of Frida and books and whatnot on Instagram. I noticed just the other day that sometime very recently I surpassed 1,000 subscribers on Instagram. I don't know what Instagram does for such anniversaries. I suppose nothing. But if you follow my Instagram, you'll know that I did order something from Amazon just the other day. I ordered an armor case for my trusty iPad. I have an old 10-year-old iPad 2 that I had retired because it looked like it wasn't taking a charge anymore, but it is. And I also retired it because I thought, okay, well, not only is it being a little dodgy on whether or not it takes a charge and holds it, but it's also due for retirement anyway because it's such an old machine. How much of the things I do now can I possibly ask it to do? And I came across it the other day, and I decided to plug it in, and it took a charge right away. I wasn't having any problem with that at all. Maybe something slightly sticky or wet, a drop of water or something that was in the connector, and that dried up, that evaporated, so the connector works just fine now. It just takes a charge like it always did. And not only that, but when I was digging around in the iPad, when I was making I used this thing for 10 years. And when I was digging around in it, I found that there was nothing that I wanted it to do that it couldn't do. It can download ebooks. It can read ebooks. It can look at YouTube. It can look at Twitter. So once I realized that, I had long since lost track of where I used to have a magnetic sleep case for it. A cover, a sort of a plastic cover that it magnetically clamped to the side of the iPad, and then when you close it down, the machine was off, and when you opened it, the machine turned on again. No idea where that thing is. I know that I still have it somewhere, but I knew that it wasn't enough anyway, because it didn't protect the sides of the machine, it didn't protect the back of the machine, it didn't really protect the front of the machine either. And I've grown accustomed to, do I have an example? Yes. I've grown accustomed to just armoring all of the tablets and whatnot that I have. Just putting them in armor, screen protectors, rubber borders, everything like that, so that I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to think about their delicacy anymore, and so that they don't slide out of the hand. And I realized right away that not only did I not know where that previous cover was for my iPad 2, my trusty iPad, but that I didn't have anything else. It was just a naked machine, and it looks like I might be able to get more use out of it. So I ordered an armored case for my old iPad, and it was the dickens putting it on. Just the dickens. I view that as a good thing. The harder it is to get a multi-form. This had a screen protector and a rubber back and a plastic frame, so 3 pieces. And the harder it is to get something like that on, the better, because that means it's going to be impossible to get it off. But every time I got it on, every time I wrestled it onto the machine, I would then say, "Ha-ha, I did it!" And I would look at it, and there would be a big fingerprint on the inside of the screen protector, or a hair on the inside of the screen protector, and I'm thinking, oh, that was so much trouble. Maybe I can just leave it there. How distracting will it be? And I know perfectly well, you know perfectly well, that's the only thing you'll be able to think about. You have to just wrestle everything off, clean it, and try again, because you can't leave an imperfection like that. So that took some time. That took quite a bit of time, quite a bit of cursing in several languages. But now it's that protection is snug on that old iPad, and I'm just going to start using it as an iPad. I had no idea. I've gone from having no iPads to having quite a few. But anyway, what have we got here? That was my last thing from Amazon, so this can't be. Oh, what on earth? Oh, do I have paperwork? No. Oh, wait. There is a piece of paper in here. Does this tell me who this is from? One of you broke the rules. One of you broke the rules. Okay, well, this is tiny, and it doesn't look to me like I can tell who this comes from. Probably don't want to get yelled at. I can't tell who it comes from. Oh man. Well, all right. Okay. First, gratitude. This is a gift from one of you, and boy, oh boy, is it a bullseye. You can see right up there, right at the edge of my finger, there's a whole shelf of Everyman Library hardcovers. Beautiful Everyman Library hardcovers. I got a couple at the Brattle and at charity shops and remembered how much I love them. And then I mentioned that, and a whole bunch of you started sending me Everyman Libraries, and there were hardly any misses anywhere in terms of the volumes that you chose to send me. Hardly anything. Almost everything was a bullseye. Not that should surprise me, right? I mean, one of the main things I do on this channel is get new books, talk about new books, review new books. Well, I don't review books on this channel, but I do give you my opinions of them, all that sort of thing. But another big thing that I do on this channel is old books. I'd be willing to bet that I talk as much about that as anybody. The books in this room are a healthy collection of the Western and Eastern canons and newer stuff. So I guess it wouldn't be that hard to go through the catalog of Everyman Library volumes and find the things that I've made no secret of the fact that I love. And it doesn't get any better than this. This is Ovid's Metamorphoses. In the Alan Mandelbaum translation, which I really like. I have it as a big old trade paperback that's rather ugly. Certainly not as nice as this. So I can now retire that trade paperback because I have this. This has the sewn binding and the built-in bookmark. And as some of you new people may not know, because I don't expect you to look at 3,000 videos to catch up to speed, this is my favorite book of all time. This is my single favorite book. This is number one. All the books that I love, all the books I'm passionate about and can quote and proselytize, urge people to read, but this is number one. This is my favorite book. And now I have it in a beautiful new hardcover that has the added benefit of replacing an older version that isn't all that good. Fantastic. All right, well, whoever you are, I can't thank you enough. This was incredibly generous. I really, really appreciate it. That is not, by the way, what Ovid looked like. Okay, but as long as you knew that already. So I can't believe it. Okay. Well, in addition to being very happy to have this, I also haven't read the Mandelbaum translation in quite some time. So that's pretty tempting. And that suddenly launches this into the running for the TBR, where these other two did not. The other two in our mail today, I have on A Philosopher's Economist. I love reading about David Hume, but what would I understand in this book? I bet not much. And Suppose a Sentence, a kind of engorged commonplace book. And then Ovid's Metamorphoses in the Mandelbaum translation in this Everyman Library hardcover. So these two aren't really in the running for immediate reading, but this certainly is. This certainly is. Maybe I'll go into it just telling myself that I'm only going to read one or two books, and let it go at that. It's not true, but oh well. All right, fantastic. Well, that's the mail, and I can't thank you enough, whoever you are. What an amazing thing. I will be reading chunks of this, or maybe the whole of it, this week. So we did, after all, in this mail haul, add something to my week's TBR, to the books that I'm just automatically reading, that I'm just going to read. The Brattle Bookshop this morning added quite a few of those. I haven't read Quentin Durard in a long time. I don't need any impulse whatsoever, no push whatsoever to read Jules Verne, none whatsoever. It takes a lot of effort not to read him. And now, the Mandelbaum Ovid. It's going to be a good reading week for rereading, that's for sure. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much. And I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.